We are back on Morning Line. Nick Barris here on a Wednesday. With me is Robert Eichert. He's Tennessee Grocers and Convenience Store Association President and CEO. On with us this morning talking about wine in grocery stores. You're telling me July 1st is when it will kick in. If you want to have a bottle of wine and you don't think ahead for the 4th of July, the 4th of July is on a Monday. You can't go Sunday and buy it, can you?
No, you can't go Sunday.
Wine does not get sold in grocery stores on Sundays.
That's right.
Now, you can buy beer in grocery stores on Sundays.
Yes, you can. After 12. That's right.
But no wine.
That's correct.
Okay. Well, you'll be able to buy it on Monday, though, in a grocery store if it's open.
You will not be able to buy it.
You can't on a holiday.
On July 4th.
Why?
So, wine will be able to be sold in grocery stores during the same hours and on the same days that you can buy wine in a liquor store. That's part of the legislation that passed in 2014.
And liquor stores are closed during major holidays.
That's correct.
And so 4th of July, one of them.
That's exactly right. Now, Nick, I will say that our industry sells a lot of groceries on Sundays. Sunday's probably the peak grocery day in our industry. And July 4th, Memorial Day, Labor Day, these are big grocery days, and we expect a lot of customers to be coming in on these, at least the first go around, and asking if they can buy wine, and they're going to be surprised on July 4th when they're denied the ability to buy wine.
Because liquor stores are closed.
That's exactly right.
That's why we're doing this show, my friend.
Well, that's right.
Let's get the word out.
And we think it's a good idea to change that law, and we would love to see the liquor stores come along with that, and
to be open on Sundays.
Yeah, if they want to be. Nobody would make them be open on Sundays. They've had a great deal where they all want that day off, but they also don't want to be in competition with other liquor stores, so they sort of have this truce built into the law that lets them be closed. And as part of our compromise to allow wine to be sold in retail food stores, we can't sell wine at the same time that they're closed.
All right, let's take some phone calls.
Sure.
Let's go to Joe. Joe, good morning.
Good morning,
Hi,
Nick.
Joe.
Got a bad connection, but there's two questions. Maybe I missed it because I can't hardly hear you on the phone.
Okay, you go ahead and ask, and then listen off air. Go ahead, Joe.
Go ahead. Can you hear me?
Yep, go ahead.
Are you going to let a liquor store sell beer? And I couldn't hardly hear you on the is grocery stores going to be able to sell wine on holidays and Sundays?
All right, fair enough. You listen off air, Joe. And okay, as far as liquor stores selling beer, a lot of these liquor stores, like Frugal McDougal's, has all of its wine and spirits on one side, and the other side there's a separate beer store, right? How does it? And again, I know you're not with liquor, but
that is true, or that was true until July 1st of 2014. The legislation that is making Friday possible allows liquor stores to sell beer. And that started on July 1st, 2014. So for 2 years now, they've had the ability to sell new items like beer that they've never been able to sell before.
Right in the liquor store.
Yep.
I got you. Okay.
Also able
I've seen that.
Yep, they're able to sell things like cigarettes, ice, mixers, food. All of these things were made possible as a concession to liquor stores who were going to have new competitors in the alcohol business, and so they were for 2 years have been allowed to sell these new items.
Okay, and I'm sorry, the second question was along the lines of selling wine on weekends, did he say?
On weekends and holidays. And
just so he missed it.
Yeah, like we discussed, Sunday sales are not allowed for wine, and wine is not able to be sold on 5 specific holidays in the law. So that includes Christmas, Memorial Day, Labor Day, Independence Day, and I'm forgetting one, and I can't remember what it is.
Okay.
Sorry.
Thanksgiving?
Could be Thanksgiving. I don't know.
I mean, that might be a good one. All right, let's go to Greg. Hi, Greg.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, Greg. What's on your mind, buddy?
Oh, I don't know. It's hard to ask. I mean, I wish there was someone else that was, supporting, representing the liquor store owners. But I've got some questions just for them. Is just, okay, what if you have a liquor store that doesn't have 20% of their store that they've had their whole lifetime that has food in it? Are they going to have to turn around and restock their stores with food and all this stuff? And also, they said that you have to charge at least 20% above the wholesale price. Well, if Walmart gets it 15% below everybody else as far as liquor stores go, when they go up to 20%, they're still going to be lower than 15% below the liquor stores. So I just see more people in mom-and-pop stores and privately owned business being being run out of business because of these big businesses and the bigger grocery stores and the corporations that get the breaks that the other people don't get.
That's an
Also,
interesting point. Yeah.
what about monitoring people that have the right age? I mean, in a liquor store, they could always go in there and undercover and try to buy beer without being underage and without being, check their ID. And they know darn well that if they get caught, they could lose their license and everything. But at grocery stores, the lines are long enough as it is. So what kind of lines are we going to have at these grocery stores when everybody's getting carded and ID'd for the liquor and the wine and all that sort of stuff? So those are kind of like 3 questions for you.
Okay, interesting questions. And some of those arguments I had heard during the debate to this. By the way, we've had shows where we've had liquor stores on when the debate was happening. We all know now it's a done deal. Wine's going in. We may have some liquor store reps to come on and talk about what they're doing as well. But how do you want to hit that then?
Let's take it in reverse order.
For it.
As far as IDing,
and IDs,
I think that wine sales are going to work a lot like beer sales do. So I don't think that anybody's complaining about waiting in line for extra time because the clerk has to check an ID.
That's true. They're already doing it with beer. Is it going to be that substantially different checking the ID?
It's going to be exactly the same.
That's a good point. They're already doing that.
Yeah, and of course their point of sale systems will prompt the clerk to check for the ID based on the code over the scanner. All of the clerks, any clerk who's able to sell wine in a grocery store has gone through 2 hours of training and are certified responsible wine vendors.
Will
and
they have to be 21 years of age, or can they be 18 to do that?
They can be 18.
Okay.
And it's the exact same rules that liquor stores have to abide by as well. They have the exact same training.
So if they're busted selling as they would have they sold it to beer to underage or wine, they could lose their license.
Yeah. The law that passed in 2014 really ramps up the training for anybody who sells any type of alcohol. It also requires mandatory carding for any age. So even a guy who looks as old as myself is going to get carded.
I'll still get carded if I buy a beer.
Yeah.
I mean, they do it. I'm kind of flattered by
so
it.
it really shouldn't. It shouldn't cause any more sales to minors. It should reduce it because, frankly, the training and certification piece has gotten much more stringent.
The 20% we should talk about, and that's understandable. You have to go above the wholesaler. Now, if a big company, he used the example of Walmart, goes to a wholesaler and says, look, I can buy this entire lot. I want a discount on the price. So I'm buying the whole lot for you, so they're getting it cheaper. So their 20% will be less money overall per bottle than maybe someone who couldn't buy such a huge lot. Is that the way it works, or is that not the way?
Not exactly,
Okay.
And it's a very logical assumption that the caller made, but the 2014 law prohibits Walmart from purchasing wine from the wholesaler at the corporate level. So Walmart is not coming in with all of its 200 stores and buying wine all with one purchase. They have to buy it on a store-by-store basis. So just like the individual mom-and-pop liquor store has to buy its product on a one-store basis, so does Walmart and Kroger and Publix and all other grocery stores.
What if Walmart, or a company that size with the resources to do so, opened their own winery and started making their own wine and did not have to go... Oh, see, I thought I'd throw you a curveball here. Give me your hypothetical answer. If they were manufacturing and making their own wine and bringing it to market.
That is a loaded question. It's a very technical. I think that even if they had their own winery, I'm not sure that they would be allowed to do that under Tennessee law. I'm not sure.
Okay, that was just out of left field. That's not happening.
And I think they'd have to sell their wine through a Tennessee licensed wholesaler anyway.
So it'd have to go through that channel. Okay, and I think you're probably right. But, these kind of things will come up eventually. They will. Let's go to Taylor. Hi, Taylor.
Good morning, Nick.
Good morning.
Good morning to your guest. I know he's now with the Grocery Association. I was just wondering a couple of things. Is his background from wine or liquor industry at all prior to this? Or my point being, one of the strongest lobbyists in this state for ages has been the liquor and wine wholesalers. They have a lock on virtually everything. As a matter of fact, their longtime lobbyist is nickname, and very commonly used nickname, is the Golden Goose. Once heard Mario, when he had his restaurant business, stated Tom Hensley was the biggest customer by far. And so my point is, they have lobbied the legislature publicly and secretly for so long. It's amazing that this got through, even though it has taken 10 years for it to finally make it. Many of the legislators that voted against it, I would never vote for any kind of liquor bill, yet they're taking donations from the wholesalers. And so the markup thing is one of the more troublesome things. That's why it's always been no one could own more than one liquor store. They did not want any kind of volume purchaser whatsoever. And I think the Tennessee public would be shocked at how many items the legislature protects industry by coming up with things like 20% above the wholesale price. The same took place when Kroger and others wanted to get into the gasoline business. That's why you see so many different prices from Kroger, maybe in the same area, is because of some restrictions that are put on that. But the wine part, we will never get a break on that we should be able to get because of the protection the legislature gives the liquor industry. And so
well, thank you. It's interesting because you're right. Ultimately, on that, Taylor, if you think about it, the consumer kind of maybe suffers there. I understand maybe that was a concession that you had to make, to get the wine in there. I'm guessing maybe you agree with Smiley. Not Smiley, he's next Taylor. That wouldn't mind not having that 20%.
Yeah,
let the market set that.
I do think that increases the price for the consumer, but we're just happy to be selling wine, and
the law's the law right now.
It was part of the compromise that made this possible. I will agree with him that the wholesaler industry has an extremely formidable lobbyist, and that's part of the reason why it took 10 years to get this done. But the reason that it finally happened, Nick, is because Tennesseans wanted to be able to buy wine where they buy food, and there was a strong popular movement for this.
There's a grassroots movement that really got it going,
yes.
Just starting in communities and, just people writing their lawmakers saying, I want this. Like you said, mothers with their children who want wine, maybe cooking wine, whatever, that don't want to go into liquor stores with their little kids, want to buy it in the grocery store.
Because of the movement that came out of this effort, which was called Red, White, and Food, we had a very coordinated grassroots effort that made it so that legislators all of a sudden were not just hearing from the lobbyists from the package stores or from the wholesalers. They were hearing from constituents who were letting them know that they were fed up with this and had had enough of this law that didn't make any sense. People who were used to walking into grocery stores in other states that they might vacation in and being able to buy wine and realizing that we can't do that at home.
Great example. There are many, many people here in the Nashville, Middle Tennessee area, Tennessee in general, go straight down to the Florida Gulf.
Yeah.
And when I go down there to the Florida Gulf and we're staying in Seaside or Destin or something like that, I go to the Publix, okay, and I've got a nice piece of amberjack. I'm going to grill that night, and I want some. It's all right there in the grocery store. I'll tell you what, it's pretty convenient.
One-stop shop.
All right, we'll take a break on that note. When we come back, if you're on hold, Smiley and others, we'll get to your phone calls. More of our conversation right after this.
This is a